Do you believe it is your advantage or the seller's advantage to disclose everything about the house to you? It is very, very important for you to know that buying a house, it is your seller, your duty to disclose everything you know about the house. Every negative, of course, not everything. That there are some things that you cannot disclose, but there are some major things that you need to disclose about the house to the incoming buyer. You need to. It is the law. It is a max. It's something that you can never run away from. Because if you don't, as a new seller, if you don't, at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, the buyer can come after you. And then a new buyer, if you don't insist on getting these documents to review the condition of the house, at the end of the day, you might end up spending money fighting unnecessary battle. So it's very, very important for you to understand the kind of documents you need when you are buying a house. Buying a house, some cities in Minnesota, allow you to do, or they want is city law to do some kind of inspection. They call it truth-in housing inspection. You have to do it before even you put that house on the market. Even though probably maybe you've done your own primary disclosures and other things, still you have to do that. You have to make sure that you do that truth-in housing to make sure the house meets some kind of standard conditions before even you sell it or you transfer it to somebody. So inspections and then disclosures are very, very, very important. If you're buying a house, probably even you bought a house before and then watching me and then thinking about, oh my God, why I didn't do this from beginning. Because I remember I was presenting somebody and then the person told me that the first agent who sold that particular house to them never told them anything about the house. Never told them about the condition. Either whoever sold it sent the disclosure statement to the agent, but the agent never bothered to tell them. Or maybe, the agent sent it to them and then they did not pay attention to. So today I'm going to highlight this for you to understand that it is your responsibility as a homeowner to request this document. It is very, very important. Number one, request about disclosure statement, full disclosure statement. If the owner live in the house more than 2 years, if they live there, that's where they've lived since they purchased the house, you request full disclosure statement. The disclosure statement will tell everything about the house. The age of the air conditioning, the age of the furnace, the condition of the house, the roof, the siding, when did they move in, and all sort of things. If you get, this is about 9 pages, and you have to make sure that you get your hands into this document. You ask your agent for the agent to send it to you so that you sit down. If you're a couple, you sit down, they send it to you. Maybe you sit down one evening and then go through it and ask some questions. It is very, very important. It is sad for you to buy a house and you don't know anything about it. You move into the house and then at the end of the day, you start complaining. Oh yeah, there are, I can see some termites in the house. Oh, I can see some kind of pest in the house. Oh, I can see some leakage over there. So what happened? These are some of the things the previous owner, because look, people sell homes because of certain reason. Some will sell their house because of economic reason. Yeah, maybe they lost their job and then don't have money to pay, so they want to downsize. It's normal. Some will sell their house because what? They are relocating. And then some will sell their house because of certain situations, certain conditions they are going through. There are some things in the house that they don't like, and they are selling it. They want to just sell it and move on. So if you're going to buy a house from this individual who is selling the house because of certain situation, problems they are getting in the house, then it is your duty to request this kind of documents. And then if they don't tell you the truth, if they lie to you, you have right to come back after them. So it is very, very important. If you're buying a house, just think about it. Think about the kind of house you're buying. Think about, if it's old house, think about the kind of things that you need. You ask your agent, please, can I get my hands on disclosure statement, full disclosure statement? Every agent will request it for you. Another statement that you need is called alternative disclosure statement. Alternative disclosure statement will give you basic information about the house. Why? Because the owner, the seller, doesn't know a lot about that particular property because they never lived there. And then if the person never lived in the house because of maybe that individual is an investor, went and bought it, and then selling it to you, or maybe try to sell the house at sales or whatever it is your duty to do your own inspection to make sure to determine either you like the house or not. Because whoever is selling, giving you this alternative disclosure, never live in the house, never lived there. So they don't know. If you ask them about the roof, they don't know. They never lived there. They bought it, fix it, and then selling it to you within 3 months or 4 months. So they can't tell you anything. So they will send you this kind of disclosure statement for you to sit down and look. And then at the moment you receive this kind of disclosure statement, it's very, very important for you to do what? To do your own inspection. I tell people, I said, inspection is the most important thing. If you're spending money on inspection, don't cry, because that is going to protect you. That is going to save you. That is going to save you from so many things. Even though the inspectors cannot do intrusive inspection, they cannot cut the wall to look through it, still they can come up with variable information that will help you. They can look at maybe the furnace to determine the furnace is very old. They can just go straight to the attic to check to see if there is no leakage from the roof. Inspectors can check the roof to make sure that the roof is in good condition or not. Inspectors can determine if the basement was flooded or whatever it is. So maybe the seller might not be able to tell you full, information about the house, but your inspector can do it for you. So it is very, very important. You need to pay attention to disclosures. You need to pay attention to your inspection report. You need to make sure that the investment that you are doing is not going to be a problem for you. You don't want to invest and then at the end of the day, just lose a lot of money. It is so sad that sometimes some people buy homes and then within a year, they want to move out. They want to move out. Probably you are watching this program and then you are saying, yeah, it's true. I bought my house and then it didn't check. I remember some years back, there was a lady, she bought a house and then the agent didn't disclose anything. So at the end of the day, when they move in there, they started seeing some kind of plumbing, when they flush the water or when they flush the toilet, the water doesn't flow. So they decided to investigate and found out that there was a big problem. There. That was why maybe the owner was selling it. You see, in this case, they decided to call the owner where the owner sold the house and moved out of the country. So where are you going to get him? So once you are still under contract, you haven't closed the house, you need to request inspection period. Let's say about 5 days or 7 days inspection period. Just take these days to do your own inspection. Let home inspector go there and then do what? Inspect it for you. Sometimes even I tell people, if the house was built in 1940s or 1950s, and then you have a lot of trees around it, let certified plumber come in and then look through the plumbing lines just to make sure that there's no tree, roots, blocking the pipes in there, because these things can cost you a lot of money. Some people buy houses and then go through this. So it's very, very important, my dear. It's very, very important for you to do what? To do your inspection, to make sure that the kind of house you are buying, you are not buying it and regret. You are not buying it and then cry. You are not buying it and then feel disappointed. You are not buying it and then point your fingers at your agent. You don't want to do that. And then look, if you are an agent out there, probably you just started your real estate business, and you want to be the best agent. You want the community to know that you are the best, you are the most honest agent out there. My advice to you is that if you are representing somebody, these documents, addendums are very, very important. Disclosure statements, alternative disclosure statement, lead-based addendum. All these things are very, very important to help your client very well. You don't want to do it and then make sure, and then at the end of the day, come and then regret. Because look, our job depends on referrals, right? Why some buyers buy their homes, they live in it 10, 20 years, and then come back to the same agent? Because they didn't do what? Face any obstacles, any problems. So they feel like they have to go back to the same agent, or even they have to refer people to the same agent, because they know definitely that the agent helped them. If you help somebody out there and then the person regret, do you think that individual will come back to you again? No. This individual will never come back to you. So if you are an agent out there representing a first-time home buyer or any home buyer, it is your responsibility to do what? To make sure that this individual, these things are done. It's very, very important. You need to request disclosure statement which tells everything about the house. When the house was built, right? When it was built. When did you move in? Have you done any maintenance in the house? Have you changed the structure of the house? Have you had any, basement cracks or anything? Did you find any leakage in the house? How old is the furnace? How old is the air condition? The roof? These are some of the things that can do what? Can cost a lot of money. And then they want you to sit down and disclose all these documents, all these issues. You fill it out. It's a form that is about 9 pages. You have to sit down to fill it out. And then if you're selling a house, you need, as an agent or whoever is representing you sell the house, needs to sit down with you, ask you so many questions, because sometimes some sellers doesn't know. First-time sellers doesn't know. We will talk about first-time home sellers program. If you're selling a house, what are the things that you need to do? But this one is home buyers program. So you need to understand, you need to sit down and then fill out these forms. It's about 9 pages, just to tell the seller, the buyer, everything you know about the house. Another document that you need to know is alternative disclosure statement. It tells basic things about the house. Somebody may ask why full disclosure and alternative. Let me explain these two. The full disclosure, if you live in the house within the last 2 years, you have to tell everything. You should know everything about the house. You should know everything about the house. If you never lived in the house, right? If you never lived in the house, sometimes, some people buy homes and then they turn around and sell it within 3 months or 4 months. They never lived there. They are investors. Maybe the person even, you live in California and then buying a house in Minnesota, try to sell it. You never live in that house. But that doesn't stop you from telling the buyer everything you know about the house. So what you do is there is an alternative disclosure. It tells you basic information about the house. It's about 5 pages, I think 5 pages or so. It tells you something that you will do what? It tells you basic things about the house for you to do what? To let whoever is coming to buy the house to know. And then as soon as you get all this kind of documents, it is your duty. It is your duty. A buyer, it is your duty. Don't be naive. It is your duty to hire home inspector to inspect it for you, to inspect every single thing. Even if the house is, good. Because I know some homes that the sellers or home owners are so honest. They try to pull it in such a way that they don't want whoever coming to buy to blame them for anything. So they fix everything. They make sure everything is fine. Even with that, do your own inspection. Do the inspection. Inspection is very, very important. My friends, inspection is one of the things that you can never, ever run away with. Just do it. If you're getting a loan of 500,000, 600,000, you are putting this burden on you and then afraid to pay $590 or $600 to do inspection. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be naive. You have to do it. You have to know, you have to pay attention to it. Do your own inspection. Let the inspector tell you everything about the house. Even though they might not know everything, still they can reveal some things to you. So it's very, very important. Another disclosure that some cities will let you do without even, if you want to sell the house, some cities even in Minnesota will let you do it without, before you put the house on the market. Without it, you can't sell the house. Even actually, some cities you can't put a house on the market without having it. And then what is this kind of disclosure? They call it truth in housing. Truth in housing. Truth in housing is very, very important. Some cities, I like some cities. I like Minnesota. I like United States because rule of law works. They want you to do it. They want the house to meet some kind of basic, standard. Just to make sure that the house, whoever is coming to buy it, at least knows exactly what is wrong with the house. So that nobody buys, you get a person's money, you run away, you move out of the country, and they let this new buyer or investor struggle. So it's very, very, very important. It's very, very important. If you're buying a house, make sure that this inspector or this home seller reveal everything to you. Let you know what is going on. Let you know exactly what is going on so that when you buy it and you know that they said this maybe basement has leakage, you know exactly that when you bought it, they told you the basement was leaking and you bought it so that you plan towards it. Or maybe the sump pump not working. I remember some time ago, I represented a buyer. He bought a brand new house. A brand new house. Very, very new house, new constructed in Minnesota. I mean, it was brand new house. And We wrote a purchase agreement. We were about to close. We were almost I think about 2 weeks to close. And then one day we received a message from the seller. Needed to disclose this information that the whole basement flooded. The whole basement flooded. You know why? The sump pump failed. And then if a sump pump failed, it's whose fault? It's the seller. So the seller needed to do what? To disclose it. So we ended up doing what? Canceling the purchase contract. So it's very, very important. If you're buying a house, you need to make sure you need to pay attention to the disclosure statement, because if you don't get the disclosure statement from beginning and you get it later, if something happens in the middle, you are screwed. Ladies and gentlemen, so if you're watching this program, forward the videos to your friends. Whoever is buying a house, it is their duty to make sure that the house they are buying is in good condition. They even if it's not in good condition, they know what they are getting themselves in. They know, because they went through all the disclosure statements. They went through all this thing to make sure that the house is in good condition. And then there is one forms to that normally, or sometimes some houses will, or some sellers needs to provide. I mean, if the house was built before 1978, I mean, even the paints they have been painting and painting, they might not have this kind of lead in that house, but according to the law, you have to disclose. So you have to fill out lead-based paint, and then the lead-based paint addendum tells the whoever is coming to buy the house that the house was built before 1978, and then they have to do their own investigation. Probably the owner doesn't know anything, haven't seen any lead in the house. The owner is not an expert, but it is their duty to send you these forms to let you know that since they move in there, they never seen any lead in the house. If there is, they have to let you know. So as soon as you get this, it's up to you to make decision, either to waive it, not to inspect, or you have 10 days after getting this information to go ahead and then inspect to make sure that there's no lead in the house. It is very, very important. If you're buying a house, there are so many things you don't want to overlook at it. You don't want to just overlook anything. Just calm down, sit down, and then, do your own research. Do your own research to make sure that you do what? You get information you want. The information that will benefit you from not spending a lot extra money you don't have. The pity thing is you buy a house and then at the end of the day, you cannot live in and complain every single day. Cry every single day. Some time ago, somebody asked me, I was representing a client, and then the person asked me, do they have to disclose if someone died naturally in that house? I mean, I'm not in all the 50 states, but I do, my opinion, you need to find out, but my opinion, I believe you don't have to. If someone passed away in that house naturally, you don't need to. You don't need to disclose it. And if someone called you and then said, agent, can you find out if there is sex offender or any sex offender lived in the house or in the neighborhood? You are not their investigator. You just direct them to the county or direct them to somewhere that they can find it. That is all. They can go to the nearest police station to just check. but it is not the agent's responsibility to disclose that to you. So it's very, very important. If you're buying a house, just do your own homework. Do your own homework. Make sure the house you are buying is going to serve the purpose you bought it. It's not going to be a house that, will turn around to haunt you every single day, every single night. You can't sleep. You just wake up in the morning and then you feel like, oh my God, I cannot. And there is something, even if you're buying a townhouse, there is something that you need to pay attention to is the association. You need to get the townhouse disclosure, resale disclosure statement to go through. Just go through to find out when was the association dues even increase. Because if you don't go through all this, at the end of the day, association dues can even discourage you from living in the house. Because if every 12 months they increase the association dues, think about it. You are not going to be able to live in that house. You end up moving because your budget is limited. If from association you bought a house, association dues was $260, and then all of a sudden within a year it's going to $320, do you think where are you going to get a difference? You are not. So you need to do your own investigation. You need to get the disclosure statement, resale disclosure statement, read it, and then find out. Ask questions. You can ask the association. When was the last time the association dues was increased? Is there any coming assessment due or anything that is going to be a burden to you? Somebody bought a house and then within a year they have to change the roof. They have to change the association, the townhouse roof. And it costs individual almost about $10,000 or $15,000 to pay. Do you think this is something that, you want to put yourself in? No. So it's very, very important. Sometimes you need to learn about so many things. When you start planning to buy a house, sit down and then do your own research. Whilst you are preparing to put your credit together, preparing yourself, use the same avenue to do what? To research about what are the things that you need to know about owning a house. Because my duty is to help you achieve your dream house. My duty is to help you be in your house, stay in your house, and be happy. That is my duty. That is my something. That's what I was licensed to do. I'm an agent. That's my profession. My profession is to help you find your dream house, live in your dream house, raise your children, and then be more happy and comfortable. So it's up to you also to do what? To team up with me to help you find out hidden secrets, things you don't know, things that are going to hurt you when you move into the house. I'm not just trying to claim that you will know everything about a house. No. There are some people out there who maybe might sit down and say, you know what, this guy, you think you will know everything about a house? No. Since you are not doing intrusive inspection, you are not opening up the walls and, removing some things to check inside the walls, you will never ever discover everything in the house. But it's better to do something, it's better to do the inspection to make sure that you know exactly what you are putting yourself than not doing it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this program. And then I believe that this information is going to help you a lot. Next time we will talk about home inspection. Inspection. I think I did mention it. This program, I've talked about it several times, but I want us to focus our mind on what are the things that you need to inspect in a house. You can specifically instruct your inspector, inspect this, inspect that, inspect this, inspect that, inspect this, inspect that, this and that and that. Focus your mind on this and that and that, this and that and that. That lets you know, that let the inspector know that you know exactly what you are talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, like the video, share it, and forward it to your friends. Let us all help each other grow when it comes to this. Let us all make sure that, we help each other. We buy a house, we move in, we love ourselves as a community to grow as well. Thank you so much. Forward the video to your friends, share, and then please like it. Thank you. And remember, your own house is your asset. Thank you.